massive MLB slate. And unfortunately, the two lineups that aren't in, or two of the four lineups that aren't in, are the teams that I'm stacking. So I'm trying to figure out how to get those in.
Who, Dodgers and who?
Brewers.
Brewers aren't in yet, huh?
Yeah, for some reason they're not in. I think it's because Rhys Hoskins is questionable, so we don't know if he's going to play or not. That's
I didn't even know Rhys Hoskins was still playing.
He's been hurt, so
okay.
Yeah. But and then we've got the weather in the Kansas City game looks a little shaky-ish. So if you wanted a reason to get off of either C's or I guess Waka, or the Padres, that would be your excuse. But it's probably going to play anyway. It just doesn't look great. So I have a little less.
With the yellow orange, it says. Yeah, okay.
So those are the big pieces of news, really. Other than that, it's very frustrating that +1 didn't get there, and Cameron Young did not. Carson Young got there easily. Cameron Young did not, unfortunately. So that's been. I've got all these beautiful lineups with the Cam Young in there and just holding them back. But there's still some life, like for the golf. Anything good for you?
No, of course not. It's golf.
It's golf. And just wait for the showdown tomorrow. You'll win the showdown tomorrow.
Something like that. Exactly. So let me. Only because I'm doing it in this order. Let me start with, I guess, FanDuel. I guess. Yeah, I want to build my FanDuel lineup.
Cool. I built one, so I'm happy to.
So I'm between two pitchers, which to me kind of just stand out, at least in my stuff over everybody. And one is Bueller, and the other is Tanner Beebe. They both have. It's no surprise, right? I mean, they have the match. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, Bieber doesn't have the greatest matchup, but it's not bad. He's more expensive. Who do you think is going to be higher owned between those two? I have Beebe 14%, Bueller 16%.
I would think that Beebe is going to be more expensive, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I think Yeah, I actually think that Bueller might be a little lower owned than people think. There is a real he hasn't thrown more than 91 pitches. The quality start thing, which used to be, is that he was like automatic quality start whenever he pitched. But we don't have that same, he's still working himself back from a pretty serious thing, which is the only reason I'm nervous. But on FanDuel, I built one lineup, and he is the pitcher in my lineup.
So this is the way I look at it. Again, we'll do hand built stuff, then we'll do the SaberSim stuff. Maybe we'll have some lineups in before then.
Yeah.
So I see these guys, the way I rate them are so close. And also the ownership is sort of close. So all else being equal, I'll play probably BB, I guess, if I can afford it. But if I can't, then I have no problem going down to Bueller. So let me start by putting BB in here. BB? How come it's having – there it is, BB. Okay. Now let's look at stacks, I guess, on FanDuel first. So again, this is just the way I look at it. I see – when you judge by value, again, it's Dodgers, Atlanta, and then raw again, it's Dodgers way first, and then it's close between Atlanta, Texas, and Boston.
Yeah,
it's if I play any of those, team preference between Atlanta, Texas, and Boston.
That's a good question. I prefer Cleveland over all of those, but
okay.
I like. I think Texas is the team that I don't have that much exposure to, that I wish I had a little more.
Well, let's see what I can afford. Okay, let's just get really greedy. Let's put all the Dodgers in that I want. So let's put in Ohtani. We'll put in Mookie Betts. What position does he play nowadays? Well, I'm not sure where I'm putting him in yet, but we'll put him
second base or short on FanDuel.
And then Freeman goes here, and then Teoscar. So Teoscar will go outfield. Is that where he plays?
That you're gonna have a hard time getting that one in, I think.
Okay. Well, with BB, right. So that's what I'm saying. So with BB is going to be tough to get it in. But if I went to Bueller. One of the problems I can't do 4-4 anymore, right?
Right.
But what do these other teams look like that I'm messing with? Like I guess there's no bargain playing Texas or Atlanta, right? They're going to be pretty expensive too.
They're going to be, you mean pretty high owned or
no expensive? I might just be able to afford them.
Yeah. I think they're going to be a little bit tricky.
What about Boston here? So
I have Boston as my. We're going to have very similar builds, but I did a 3-3-2, which is a very unusual thing for me to do on FanDuel, but that's what I did today.
Yeah, it's looking as though it's going to be a little bit too expensive to do what I want to do if I want to play all these Dodgers.
Well, you have the near min cost guys like Vaughn Grissom if you want to play Boston, David Hamilton. Those guys are super cheap. So you could get to a Boston something or other because I did.
I guess. So the point is that it's going to be difficult to handle getting absolutely everything that you want. But like you said,
the 4 best Dodgers. Like,
I'm greedy.
Well, if you're going to be greedy, I would actually choose the 4 best and choose Will Smith and not Teoscar Hernandez.
Oh, really?
And then you actually get different with your builds because then you're forcing Freeman, Ohtani, and you're taking up your utility spot with Will Smith. It's just going to be a slightly different build of the Dodgers. That's it. That's the reason I like it. And
who else is good on Boston? Is supposed to play? Duran, I guess.
Boston would be, Devers is the one you spend up for the most, I think. Duran is cheap enough. They're all actually Boston's really cheap. I'm actually surprised they're not more popular on FanDuel. They're way cheap. Other than
what position does the leader of the free world play nowadays? Connor Wong, catcher.
Yeah. So you couldn't do the Will Smith thing if you did that, but you could do it though.
So I could play the 4. I could play the 4 Dodgers I want. Oh, excuse me. I don't have my 4th Dodger yet. So I have Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, and then I have 4 Boston guys with 1 thing left. I can't play the Dodger anyway because then it would be a 4-4.
Right.
What would the Dodger be? Hold on, let's see.
Yeah.
Is there any cheap Dodger?
Yeah, tons. We just don't know which ones yet.
Well, who could it be, you think?
Jason Hayward. It'll be Jason Hayward.
Could it be like Kiki Hernandez or Chris Taylor?
Kiki Hernandez, not Chris Taylor. It's possible Chris Taylor plays, just unlikely. Kiki Hernandez, Lux is 2,600.
Right.
It's out now. Okay, so Rody says it's out now. Let me grab the Dodger lineup. So
let's tell me who's on the Dodgers.
But let's just see. MLB tweet. Okay. So the Dodgers have. Oops. Okay. So Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, Smith, Teoscar, Hayward, Lux, Rojas, Pages.
What's Hayward's price? He's 2,500.
Yeah. So Hayward is cheap. And as a Dodger, he's actually been a decent hitter. I'm disappointed. I didn't think that Vargas would make the lineup, but I was hoping he would. Rojas is the one you generally want least. Pages will be the by far the lowest owned.
So Rojas is playing, you're saying?
I'm saying that Rojas is playing. Yes. He's batting 8th.
If I went to BB instead.
Yeah, it's very doable with multiple things. I have a 3-3-2 just to give it away with the Dodgers, Boston, and Milwaukee, but I actually like it. I haven't played a 3-3-2 on FanDuel in a while, and I've done really well with it. Some guys only play 3-3-2s on FanDuel. I was listening to a show where they were talking about it, but I can't remember what show it was. And I was like, that's a really strange thing to do. It's just strange to think, I can only play 3-3-2s.
We're gonna save this one for now. I'm saving Jesus Sanchez as my one-off right now.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do a build on DraftKings. Like, so who do you like on DraftKings as I make this build here?
So I'm gonna have to change all my lineups in a minute because as I just was guessing it, and again, it's just a guess who the Dodgers were playing. So I think that the double Tanner pitching is a good option. Both Tanner.
How can BB?
Yeah, you can do the double Tanner thing. I have Bueller. I have it. Soriano. I actually have Soriano as my highest owned pitcher on DraftKings, and then Houck, Bueller, BB, all about the same. Then I have some Severino and Brian Wu, and very little Dylan Cease, and very little Ronaldo Lopez. But I don't have like an incredible take on any of the. I think BB has tremendous upside. I think that Bueller is too cheap, and working himself back into the right mix and the right matchup. So I guess BB and Bueller, if I had to make one lineup, would probably be the guys I would go with. Okay.
I don't know. The BB thing feels fishy to me. I don't know, but they all feel. I like the Soriano. I like that idea.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's also late. It's also late, which I don't mind.
Yeah. BB is like. I think he's a really good pitcher.
Okay.
Look, it doesn't mean everything. It doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to have a good game tonight, but I think he's got. I do like him in this matchup, and I like that they haven't seen him before. At least I don't think they have. I'm pretty sure they haven't. It's kind of hard to keep track of all. At least they used to all do the interleague play at the same time, and now they don't anymore. So it's a little tricky.
So the Milwaukee's not in. You're saying, right?
Yes, I'm double checking here. It's still not in.
It's so funny how greedy we are. You know, we're like, oh my God, it's 2 hours. We don't have it yet. In NBA, if we get it like 4 seconds before game time, it's like a miracle. It's like,
I know, right? Exactly. But I'm sticking with my. I mean, obviously, I have a lot of exposure to the Dodgers, but I also have a lot of exposure to Milwaukee, Cleveland, and a little bit of Atlanta.
I wonder if I get all this Minnesota again.
Oh, Minnesota. Let's see.
I remember I was getting all that earlier. I wonder if I get.
Oh yeah. I wonder about that actually.
I wonder what that's all about. I really think I want to force in some Milwaukee.
By the way, whatever's happening with DraftKings, I mean, come on, guys, get it together. You're a major company.
Hey, if they want to keep giving us free rolls, I mean, you know.
No, I'll take the. Well, first of all, I have to see it first. I'm gonna just trust that it's coming in, and also like they shut off their support today because they shut down their support, and now their site just keeps cutting in and out for me. So it's just irritating.
Oh, I better get. We better get these in.
Yeah, get it in so at least you got a free roll.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta make sure to do it.
And I am cutting off all the Bow Wow stacks here. I'm playing 5-mans today. I'll play a 4-4 just because, but that's that's as funky as I'll get.
Yeah, I think on this slate it makes sense. I never thought I'd be playing so much David Peralta, but I had that spot reserved for Vargas in case he was in there. I knew he wasn't likely to be in there, but I just wanted it to happen. Now I've got to get Vargas. Oh, Kike's not in there. Like, oh my God, I've got Kike and like I've got every Dodger that I think I just played like 15 different Dodgers to see who was in the lineup. That's pretty funny.
So let's see what FanDuel looks like. And again, I'm only playing the one big lineup on FanDuel, so I could do this pretty easily. So let's do a build on FanDuel again. Just practice doing it. We're uploading the projections. Actually, we have to go into the Dodgers because I didn't update those projections yet. So let's just make sure that we get all the Dodgers that we need. Yeah, it looks like no. See, that's what happens. You just got to scroll down here and find Rojas. It didn't have projections, so we'll reset that so we get that, and we'll build. Let's do it. Why not? Let's build 55,000 lineups and see what we get. I imagine again that because my projections were so heavily slanted towards Bueller BB, that's what I'll end up getting because neither of them rate to be that popular. I don't think.
Right. It's weird to. It's just for what it's worth. It's very strange trying to play the Cleveland thing today on DraftKings because they don't have a catcher, which is like
okay.
pretty much the one position you never see that a team doesn't have, like because their catcher outfielder they're calling a catcher, so it's kind of a strange Cleveland build here. I really like Cleveland, but it'd be nice. I liked them when they had when there was a cheap potential catching option, and now we don't really have one. And D Pope was asking for home run picks tonight. I know it's pretty chalky, but I would say Ohtani. That one's chalky. The other ones are not for me. I'm going to say Christian Yelich and Connor Wong.
Okay.
They all go long today, is my guess. Let's see. Pittsburgh. Man, I cannot find anything that I quite like. This is probably the slate where Lopez goes nuts, right? Like I just feel it coming.
So Heath missing the cut and Rory like in like T44 or something like that. This is exactly what we expected, right? This is like,
yeah. I mean, well, I actually didn't understand. I didn't like Sahith at all.
No, I know, but of course, the battle between McIntyre, Fox, and
and
O'Hare is what we was at everybody's bingo card, I think.
Right. I think it's going to end up like it'll probably end up with like one of Burns and Mitchell's right in there. Your boy Keith Mitchell, who you
sure
you talked me into because he's in one of my lineups right now. Or you didn't talk me into him, but you were playing him on that.
All right, so let's look at flagship MME. We'll call this MME, and then we'll hit save settings, run contest sims, and this is going to be what we would get for FanDuel. Oh, Mike Weir is going to make it. He's -1.
Let's go.
I think.
Any games?
Burns, what a choke today, huh?
What?
In a weak field, he could have freaking put the hammer on these people.
Not really. I mean, it's not like the easiest. There's easy holes, but like there's not like the easiest course.
No, I meant the weak field though. I mean, like he
shot +1. I mean, and I guess on that argument, Rory definitely could have either.
That's right. But
is that weak of the field? Though, is it? Like, I mean, it's weak, but it's like all the mid-tier guys. And finally, my man Joel Dahman stood up and said, "Okay."
He sure did, huh?
He had a big day finally, so I'm just happy about that one.
A couple of Braves.
Novak. I have some Novak Dahman lineups that might give me something. Okay, so I'm trying to get this. All right. God, I'm ending up with so much Jason Hayward because of what I was doing. I don't really want to do that.
God. Who's this? Oh my God, someone's really in the freaking muck here. I'm like looking at the golf here. It's Pendrith. Oh my God, Pendrith is dead.
What is he at though?
He's -1, but he's like literally like in the trees.
Uh-oh.
He is so he needs a bogey to advance.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, dude. If you saw where he was, if I'm watching the Golf Channel right now, I mean, he is really in the shit.
Uh-oh.
We'll see what happens here.
Oh, you have another cheap bet I wanted to mention. There's another cheap bet. Emmanuel Rivera is only 2,100 for Miami, and he's batting 5th today. So on DraftKings, just wanted to
let's see where he hit it. So he hit it out of the woods. I'm not sure he got it in the fairway. If he did, then he just needs to get on the green, go up and down, and then 2-putt for a bogey.
Tavares. Wow. I did not expect to be doing that today.
Ryan Fox, -5 for the day, -9 for the tournament.
I know. And it's like he and McIntyre, I just don't play him enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I kind of was wishing I did right about now. I'm obviously right about now, but like I wish I just thought a little bit more creatively. Okay, so we're getting rid of the Vargas, Milwaukee, the Dodgers, the Hayward. I can't play Lux and Turang together. That's frustrating. I really wanted to.
I mean, what's life if you can't play Gavin Lux and Bryce Turang together?
It's not what I signed up for.
I mean, like, you know, the DraftKings is supposed to let you play the guys that everybody wants to play. You know, like.
For what it's worth, though, I do. I really think that actually you mentioned it earlier with the White Sox. It's a pretty good play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like Pendrith, oh my God, Pendrith is dead.
Really?
Pendrith is hitting his third from. Boy, if he can get this on the green, like for real, that'd be amazing. We'll see what happens.
If he's on the green, he's gonna make it. Then I mean,
Yeah, no, I know. This is like some nasty rough he's hitting out of. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does here. All right, he hit it. I don't have any sound ons. He looks like he likes it. All right, that's an amazing shot. Oh, he's locked. Okay, he's like 30 feet away. That's amazing. Yeah. That was a sick shot. If he comes back and wins someone like 200,000, that shot's like.
Well, he's gonna be he's in like tons of lineups. So I think is he like 18%? Yeah, like 18% or something. All the Canada guys ended up getting on there in the end. We got people who who is this in chat who's saying that Kaylee's saying that he likes the Mets right-handed bats. Okay, this is a big slate to stack against a pitcher who historically is decent. He hasn't been great this year at all. His control has been a little off, but I just don't really want to do it. But yeah, go ahead, stack the Mets. I feel like the Mets have probably lost more people money in the first part of this season than anyone else. You know what, Christian Rodriguez bringing up the Berrios. I think the Berrios is totally legitimate play. It's totally fine. When we have all this other weirdness, I think you could totally justify that for sure. Yeah, I have no issue with that at all.
Fox, that's a good looking shot. Let's see what this is. Right, that is no, it didn't quite come back, but he's got a look. He's got 20, 25 feet for birdie.
And hopefully, I just want him his whole life to come crashing down.
Ryan Fox?
Yeah, I just don't want any of. I have two guys. I don't have McIntyre. I don't have Fox. I have like 3 lineups with them. Out of 150 and the $5.
The Skins.
What is up with this David Skin? Also, too, it's like I never even notice him in the tournament, and then all of a sudden he's either at the top of the leaderboard or he misses the cut by like 20 strokes.
The only thing I've Skins, I think of like pairing him with Callum Tarrant in the pairs event or whatever.
Yeah,
they're always they're always partners in that thing.
Yeah, that's right. Dodgers, Cleveland. Ugh, I need another bat here. All right, I'm gonna do this. We are gonna do Bueller, and we're gonna do Paz.
Why did they just show Fox? It says he's through 6, but they showed his tee shot on the 17th, or on the.
That's weird. That's what all the people say. Bethencourt?
Through 16, that is for sure.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm playing this stupid fucking lineup. I'm already mad, and they haven't even started yet. Oh, man.
What's the cut line? I think it's even, right?
Yeah.
Biggest off-the-wall team stack on DK. Well, I'll tell you what. I will tell you my biggest off-the-wall exposure. How about that? Relative to ownership.
Yeah.
And you can call that what it is. So relative to ownership, my biggest bit of leverage is on the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Arizona, huh?
Maybe that's not considered off the wall, but whatever. That's.
I know. I think it's a reasonable one.
That is my my big stand today. Or if you want, you could look at. I mean, if you wanted to get really aggressive, I mean, you could try to fade BB by playing Washington. But I don't even think BB's gonna be that popular. I mean, he's gonna be popular, but he's not gonna be like through the roof. So that's my. And I'll tell you this: I got enough Arizonas that I'm willing to say that this is a pretty big pile of it relative to their ownership. So yeah,
I will go with the team that would have been this. Like if you played this game any other time in the last since I've played DFS and Eric Fetty was pitching, you would not be getting 2% owned, 1% owned, maybe Milwaukee stacks. That's what I really like. I have too much Bueller ended up with. Okay, now I've got to shrink down. All right, I've got to do a little widgeting. Do anyone play MLB single game like a showdown? Yeah, we play them, but I usually wait for the playoffs. I don't like to do them during the season very much. The Braves haven't lost people more money. How can we say that? I mean, if the Braves lost people more money, then I don't know what. It's not the Braves that have been losing the money for you, because I'm just going to look real quick. Let me just see something real quick. The Mets have, I mean, the Mets are just the most god-awful franchise, but I was sort of joking about that, but I don't know how the Braves have lost everybody money. Let's see. Where the Braves
and you know what? In the second group that I'm playing a lot of,
you know what? Maybe the Braves. Okay, fine. Go ahead, Sheets.
And I'm gonna get heavy on this Milwaukee thing. I don't know exactly who's going to be playing for them, but
no, neither do I. Especially now that, I mean, they weren't going to be owned anyway. Now they're certainly not going to be owned.
Let's see what these Milwaukee guys look like. I mean, I'm presuming. Why would I presume anything? But
so the Mets are
presuming that Willy Adames is playing, that William Contreras is playing. This is all normal.
Fairly safe.
Christian Yelich, I have him playing. But then here are the ones that may or may not play. I have Jake Bowers, Joey Ortiz, Sal Frelick, Gary Sanchez, and Bryce Turang. That's my projected lineup.
Yeah. I'm just going to go back to Kaylee here. Just want to point out that, the Mets, so you say they scored runs. We could say whatever we want. The Mets are 21st out of 30 teams in baseball runs scored. Just want to throw that out there. I don't think we should be confusing this. I actually don't think this is a bad idea with the Mets. And maybe I was just speaking for myself, but I've lost too much money with the Mets. They do have some power, obviously. That's one thing. The one thing they do have, but they just haven't scored runs really this season. And let me just see how they've done against lefties. I'm actually now you know what? After all this, Kaylee, now you've kind of talked me into thinking about the Mets a little bit. Should I consider that as maybe a potential mini stack? God, pretty wickedly bad numbers against left-handed pitching. Pretty terrible. But 18th in home runs. Yeah, so they're like well below average. But it's kind of interesting. Let's see what Canna from Detroit was scratched. Thanks, Power, for that. I forgot to announce that earlier.
Okay.
You can just mention names all you want, Kaylee. Like I'm just looking at the facts. They have not scored runs this season. They're 21st out of 30 teams in runs. Mark Vientos, that's what we're talking about now. He actually has been much better though.
It's Vientos, McIntyre, Fox, and Oden.
He's actually been fine. I mean, he's hit 3 home runs. That's one thing that's not ideal, but he hasn't played that many games either. So actually not. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, you can play them. Go ahead. It's not like Jordan. This is what happened with Jordan Montgomery and what used to happen with Tyler Anderson. Everybody just sort of thought, oh, they don't throw hard and they're a lefty. We'll stack against them. And it never, ever worked. For like literally 5 years, I would stream on Roto Grinders about this. I'm like, this is what's going to show up as the best stack every time. And it never, ever works because those guys know how to limit power and they keep the ball down. And they throw ground balls. Now, there's definitely some regression, though, for Montgomery now that compared to what he used to be. It sort of seemed to happen to everyone who went to St. Louis. Everybody became terrible. Boy, Matt Carpenter at 5.7. Is that real? Why is he? I know it's not on this slate. It's a different slate. Never mind. It's a weird slate. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? Got a little Cardinals obsessed. Tavares, I like that play. I like that call, Jason. I like Leo Tavares. You've got Tavares and Rivera in that game are both super cheap. I'm not getting as much exposure to that Texas thing, but I do think it's not a bad idea. Like Texas, the Dodgers, Cleveland, Atlanta, and Boston are probably the best stacks of the day. It's just a matter of which ones you want to commit to. And I like the Brewers as a contrarian. So, and especially like, I mean, I would like to have a Brewers lineup at some point. That would make my.
That would be nice, right? I mean,
it's a Friday night, man. I need to do something. All right. Why are people playing this single game thing? That's interesting. I guess it's something. I mean, sure, something to do. Is it a big prize pool?
What do you mean, the showdown?
The showdown. Yeah, it must be like a decent prize pool because it says they're playing it. Here, I'll throw a lineup in the showdown while I'm No, I actually need to finish my builds.
Urena in a few lineups. Yeah, I mean, not that many, but
yeah. I mean, it's a totally differentiating build, so I'm okay with it. But I can't. I just the problem is we think you only need 15 points. The issue I have is that there's a lot of pitchers with ceilings on this slate, and that's my only worry about the Urena thing. But I don't mind it even still with that. And even with those ceilings, like it's sort of mitigated a little bit. Dylan Cease's got the weather game. Bueller's not going to pitch 100 pitches probably. BB I think has a real ceiling. Lopez, Severino maybe. And I really like Soriano too. That Perkins is good. Why do they bat him ninth so much? It's like the Twins. I don't know what he actually hits this year, like what his actual numbers are. I know they're decent. But I feel like Willie Castro for the Twins has like 15 fantasy points every night. It's not all dart throws. That's certainly not going to co-sign on that. This is not a dart throwing. But you're taking shots, but you still want to try and. There's a reason why regularly same people usually win every year. All right. What else do we have here? I do think I'd like to get to some Berrios. That's my pivot off of Bueller. There we go. Let's get some Berrios in there. And unfortunately, if you are stacking the Dodgers, we don't get to complain. Unfortunately, because if things don't go right, if the line, what's it called? People get pinch hit for because there's just too many. It's too much out there. There's too many guys that are likely going to get pinch hit for tonight. Unfortunately.
Stacks, Arizona, Milwaukee, Mets, Arizona, Milwaukee, Oakland.
I don't mind mini Oakland, by the way. I have like some Andahar pieces and like little Oakland. Oh, Abraham Toro on FanDuel is like 2,100, I think, or something like that. And he's leading off. All right, Bueller, Soriano. I ended up with a little more Bueller than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, I don't want to play the Cease in BB, Lopez, Haug. I like this one actually.
BB.
Cease, Bueller.
I have a really weird lineup here. Okay. Oh no, I'm 100 short. Trying to make that Dodger stack work is tricky. What's tricky is to try to make the Dodger stack work with Jose Ramirez. That is really tough.
Hopefully you don't get burned by not playing Bueller. I mean,
who's not playing Bueller?
Some pieces.
You mean on FanDuel sheets?
No, he's saying, Christian's saying, hopefully I don't get burned by not playing Bueller.
Oh, yeah, I don't. That's the thing about fading. I like Bueller tonight, I don't think that you should be like overly worried about I think he's likely to end up with like 20 to 25 fantasy points a lot of the time. That's, on DraftKings. I think that's a good enough number to play him, and I totally understand if you don't want to. Rivera, let's try that. That's what we need to do. Rivera.
Who's more expensive, BB or Bueller? BB, right?
BB.
Play him. I could end up doing if things aren't going my way, I could change from like Bueller to like Stroman or something like that later. I mean, obviously Bueller's a better play, but if I want to get unique, I can do that.
Yeah,
I mean, unique and get a little different. I can do that.
That's fair.
All right, I'm gonna get going.
Okay.
I just so everybody knows, I did the MMA lineup construction thing a little early this week. Now, Brandon is not going to be doing the live stuff for NASCAR this week. He's out.
He's out.
I saw him when he was recording. He was saying, "I don't know if Sheets is going to be on here. I definitely can't do anything tomorrow, but it depends on the time. Actually, I'll try to do something Sunday though for the Cup Series. But again, I'm going to be relying on everybody, all the experts in there to help me. But I might do something. I'll put that in the Discord one way or the other.
Nice.
And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, have a good weekend, and I'll catch up to you later.
All right. Good luck, man. Have a great weekend. Good luck, everybody. I'll be in the Discord. I'm just going to post my exposures when I'm done. MJ, for what it's worth, Toronto's viable. When there's so many teams, you want to narrow. So I don't want to like extend, but there's like 12 stacks that I think make a lot of sense.